Uganda, may God uphold thee. We lay our future in thy hand. United, threefold, liberty together we'll always stand. East African anthem. E Mungu twaomba tuilinde Jumuiya ya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, ilu mujumuiya yetu.
Thank you very much, Dre Konen. Let's now move very fast to the next item, and I would like to invite Dr. Sarah Birete, the Executive Director of the Center for Constitutional Governance, to come and give us her opening remarks. Of course, her remarks will also touch on the role of civil society in defending the Constitution and promoting constitutionalism. Dr. Sarah, you're most welcome.
Chief Guest, Your Lordship, Benjamin Odoki, the retired Chief Justice of Uganda, but also the former chair of the Constitutional Commission, former delegates of the Constituent Assembly, represented by Honorable Tezira Jama, fellow CSO leaders, representatives of the Radical New Bar, Uganda Law Society, representatives of police, Uganda Human Rights Commission, Equal Opportunities Commission, and the Electoral Commission, representing government agencies that work on implementation of the Constitution, students from universities around Kampala, Wakiso, and Mukono, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Today we come together to commemorate a momentous event, the eve of the 30th anniversary of the Ugandan Constitution. This is not just a celebration, but a recognition of the importance of the 1995 Constitution and the process that led to the making of this Constitution that was people-centered with a bottom-up approach for the first time in Uganda's history. 30 years ago, Uganda Constitution was adopted with a vision of a just, democratic and united nation. It was intended to provide a framework for governance that safeguards rights and freedoms of every Ugandan, enshrines justice for all, and builds a foundation for peace and development. It was, and it is still, a beacon of hope for the future, challenges notwithstanding. As we stand here today, it's important to recognize that whereas there has been progress in matters regarding rule of law, in matters regarding conduct of people that exercise power over the citizens, we have also faced numerous challenges as citizens of this country. And some of the hope that citizens realized during the promulgation of this Constitution has been dashed away by a failure to protect the Constitution in some instances, a failure to safeguard fundamental rights and freedoms of the people in some instances, especially the political rights, and a failure to resolve outstanding challenges like land conflicts and the land rights, especially for the poor and the vulnerable. It is a sign of hope that challenges And the decisions that citizens take during the most challenging times is what lays a firm foundation for countries, and Uganda is no exception. We stand here today representing citizens to reclaim the hope given by the 1995 Constitution, to reclaim the power of the people to safeguard and protect the Constitution by holding our leaders accountable, and to reclaim the promise that was delivered on the 8th of October in 1995. We can do this, and that's why we are here. We have not lost hope in constitutionalism in Uganda. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Sarah Birete. I think I would now take this opportunity to invite, let me invite Honorable Tezura Jamwa to come and also speak to us about the role that women played in actually shaping the constitution that we celebrate today, 30 years of its existence. You're most welcome. Then we shall hear from the Uganda Human Rights, and then the Law Society, and then a youth representative.
Benjamin Odoki, Sarah Birete, the chairperson of Constitutional Governance, all the guests who are invited here today. Today, us, the delegates in the Constituent Assembly, is a great day because we remember when we promulgated the Constitution on 8th October 1995. Thank you very much for remembering this day. Sarah, the ED of Center for Constitutionalism, and for inviting us here today. In fact, today, you have killed two birds with one stone. We are commemorating the 1995 Constitution today, and at the same time, the issues of climate change are also being taken into consideration. By planting trees in this city square or Constitution Square, we are also trying to protect the environment and making the city greener than it was before. So with those few words, I thank you very much for the invitation.
Let me now invite our colleague from the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Ms. Sarah Nakumitsa. She is the Regional Director for Human Rights, representing the chairperson of the Commission. You're most welcome.
My name is Sarah Nakumitsa, as already introduced, and I'm standing in for the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission, Mrs. Maria Mwangadia, who is held up with other official commitments. Would like to thank Dr. Sarah Birete for inviting us for this historic event, that we are standing here 30 years to commemorate our Constitution of the Republic of Uganda. As you're well aware, Uganda Human Rights Commission is a creation of the 1995 Constitution to be able to safeguard and protect the rights of the people in Uganda. So we have this Constitution with a detailed Bill of Rights. The whole of Chapter 4 focuses on the human rights, and it clearly sets out mechanisms that are available in place to ensure that people whose rights have been violated will be able to seek redress. We have the Uganda Human Rights Commission with it has functions to investigate complaints of human rights violations, to receive human rights complaints, to monitor and inspect the detention facilities, to ensure that the inmates are living in ideal human rights environment. And then we have also courts of judicature, we have the local government. So really the Constitution of 1995 brings in place a detailed system and network and mechanisms where human rights issues can be addressed. We have moved a long way. We may be still having issues here and there, but we are moving, we are progressing. And I would like to call upon Ugandans out there as we commemorate 30 years of our Constitution to ensure that as citizens of Uganda, you're able to know your rights so that you are empowered enough to be able to claim them. And then duty bearers, we call upon you to remember Article 20 that gives us the responsibility to ensure that we protect, we promote, and respect the rights that are enshrined in our Constitution for God and my country. Thank you.
So Ms. Pony Ayikoru is a phenomenal young woman, and I'm sure you're going to find out why in just a bit. Pony, you're most welcome.
Good morning, Your Lordship, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. My name is Patience Pony Ayikoru. I am a youth leader, and it's a privilege to speak to you today, courtesy of Center for Constitutional Governance. Dr. Sarah, thank you for recognizing the young people and the role they play in safeguarding the Constitution. 30 years ago, visionary leaders led by His Lordship Benjamin Odoki drafted the Constitution, upholding principles of democracy, equality, and justice. And today we look back at these years and ask ourselves the question of what the young people have to do in order to safeguard these very principles. Young people, it is indeed our role to be the custodians of the Constitution 30 years again forward, but also beyond that. As young people, we need to live by these principles of constitutionalism. Every time we choose integrity over shortcuts, every time we choose equality and democracy as young people and accountability, we speak up for the Constitution and its values. And as we commemoratively plant that tree, we pray that the tree will grow just like a seedling, and that as young people we can uphold it and commit towards safeguarding these values, but also beyond that, that it will grow into the young people that will be, or the older generation that will sit under this shade of this tree and still speak out to accountability, equality, and justice. Thank you very much for listening to me.
Your Lordship, and all the guests, it's such a pleasure to be in your midst, in the midst of a legend, in the midst of one of the people that played a very crucial role to see that the Constitution we are celebrating 30 years later today is in place, and that has been able to keep Ugandans anchored on the journey of constitutionalism, which is not an end in itself, but a means to a greater end. My name is Julius Muchunguzi. I am the head of public relations at the Electoral Commission and spokesperson for the Commission. The chairperson would have loved to be here, but the Commission, the entire Commission, is right now meeting and handling petitions and complaints that require everybody, every member of the Commission to be in chair to be able to have the quorum that is required to undertake that important assignment that is constitutional as well. And so I've been asked to represent the Commission on this very important occasion of commemorative tree planting. The 1995 Constitution established an order upon which Ugandans have been able, since 1996, every 5 years, to exercise the provisions of Article 1, Clause 4, to choose their leaders through regular, free, and fair elections. At no point since the promulgation of the 1995 Constitution has Uganda or Ugandans failed to exercise their mandate every 5 years. And that is something that we should all celebrate, and we salute the people, the founding fathers, and the people that put together this important document that continues to guide us even as we speak today, with candidates, 8 candidates traversing the country as we speak, looking for votes, seeking the mandate of the people to put in practice the ideals provided for in the Constitution. It is the 1995 Constitution that established the right to vote in Article 59 and provided that every citizen of Uganda who is 18 years and above has got a right to vote, and established the Electoral Commission in Article 60 with functions in Article 61 of what the Commission is expected to do. The Electoral Commission is your Electoral Commission. It is the Electoral Commission of the people of Uganda. And we exist primarily to ensure that Article 1, the sovereignty of the people, their right to choose their leaders, is actualized. Elections in this country have continued to be a foundation of ensuring that we have peace, we have stability, and we have unity. And we would wish to see that even this general election we are going into next year continues to anchor and buttress the ideals and mind that the framers of the 1995 Constitution had when they put together this document that continues to guide us. So it's a great pleasure for the Electoral Commission to have been invited by the Center for Constitutional Governance, Dr. Birete and your team. We are always delighted to work with you because this is a journey that we have to work together on. And as the chairperson of the commission, Justice Biakamagin always says, a free, fair, credible and transparent electoral process is not just the responsibility of the Electoral Commission alone. It is the responsibility of all the key stakeholders that have a role to play and in ensuring that it is free, fair, credible and transparent. And it is for that reason that the Commission salutes all the stakeholders, civil society, the media, young people, the judiciary and all the other people that have a role to play for the role they have continued to play to ensure that Ugandans indeed enjoy what is provided for in their constitution. It is our constitution, it is their constitution, it's for all of us, and each one of us has a role to play to ensure that constitutionalism becomes a fact of life. I thank you very much and I wish you very well. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, the Electoral Commission, represented by Mr. Julius Muchunguzi. It is now my pleasure to invite Dr. Sarah Birete to invite our chief guest, His Lordship, to make his remarks.
Thank you once again, our Mistress of Ceremonies. It's now my singular honor to invite the chief guest, retired Chief Justice of Uganda, but also the chair of the commission that gathered views and led the process drafting the draft constitution of Uganda, that the Constituent Assembly and promulgation constitution, where we are commemorating today. Your Lordship, we are glad to receive you.
Madam Sarah, the distinguished guests who are here, representing various organizations which are important for promoting constitutionalism in this country. First of all, I want to thank you for inviting me to come to this square. Square has got a lot, I have a lot of history for this square, which if I tell young people here, they might think that I shouldn't be standing here. In 1967, when I had finished my first year at the University of Dar es Salaam, I came here to this High Court to look for a job. Temporary, we used to call it vacation employment. And when I went to the chief registrar, the name of he said, yes, I have a job. What job do you have? I want you to edit proceedings of the ex parte Matovu's case. The case decided that a coup d'etat can produce a lawful government. Can you please edit the proceedings? I said, what do you mean? We had secretaries who were lay persons, they missed proceedings. Can you put them correct? I said, thank you, I only need a job. The brain I do have, and then I do the needful. 1967, I don't know how many of you were alive. after that job, of course, I left. I went back to the land of Nyerere. As if that was not enough, in 1978, as I was sitting in this building, in the High Court here, it was announced High Court by the then Attorney General, Mathias Matovo. Said, how come? Said, you have been director of the Law Development Center, you have taught a lot of lawyers, now it's your time to come and tell them what you have been teaching. I said, okay, but I'm only 35 years old. How can I be a judge of the High Court? During a minute's time, you have no questions. You only have answers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I came here in 1978, and as most of you know, I left after 35 years of sitting in this building. So I have a lot of history in this building. I have left out one detail. I know Sarah is looking at my watch. But when you reach 80 plus, you know you have many stories to tell. So 1979, the was overthrown by a government, I don't know whose government it was. So I was a young judge, 1979. I was asked, can you come and sit on the constitutional case, deciding whether the removal was lawful or not? I said, but I'm just a young judge. How do you? So you, Justice Manyindo, the Chief Justice Wambuzi, still alive and kicking, and Wambuzi is alive by the grace of God. Another one called Astana and Rubogo are dead. So we sat in this building, deciding whether the raise removal was lawful or not. You can, but that's one. Come back to the square. When I asked for a few meters of this square so that I could put up these buildings here, because I thought they were too big to fit there. The mayor said, no, sir, not even an inch. That is a sacred place. I cannot give you an inch. So what you see is what happened. We just crammed the building in that space of ours. So I have a lot of history on this square. Some of you are too young to know these things. In the management, we don't tell you everything. Only you see the results of the labor, of our labor. I didn't know that tree planting, you had to make speeches. Because I had planted many trees in some places, I never made any speeches. But this being a special day, and on a matter on which I don't want to say I feel emotional, but very, very much attached, because when I hear some of the things which I had to sleep over, like power belongs to the people, instead of using the word sovereignty, some of the things which I had to think about with the people of Uganda, all those things which I had to labor to put in the Constitution, I feel I don't want to say much about the Constitution. So the rest is, you know it. But I want to say that we have to salute all those people who had the vision to put this process in motion. Many people join government or form governments and don't even write constitutions. They just continue as if nothing has happened. But I want to salute those people, including those who sacrificed their lives, so that this process could take place. I salute those whom I worked with. This morning, last night I was thinking about my colleagues. Half of us are dead of the Constitutional Commission. And by the grace of God, about half of us are still alive. We thank God for it. I don't know about the Constitutional Assembly. I'm sure many are gone also, those who participate in the process. But that's the process of generation, from generation to generation. Yesterday, I was too busy working on Zoom. And I don't know who invented Zoom. We're working with people from Quito, Port of Spain. Do you know where Port of Spain is? Trinidad and Tobago. Quito is in Ecuador. Canberra, Australia, German. We drafted the Bangalore Principles in 2002 when I was Chief Justice. Now, some of you don't know Bangalore Principles. These are the rules of conduct which govern judges. And there were about 10 judges. Said, no, we must build integrity in the judiciary. So yesterday I was on that meeting. I was the vice president of that group, and the president comes from Germany. So I was unable to write a speech because I didn't think there was a need for a speech. But I want to say that we drafted those principles, which most of you know: independence, impartiality, equality, integrity, diligence, and competence for the judges. And if you see the Constitution, if you read it carefully, you can see a few, not that exactly, but you can see unity, equality, freedom. Huh? The rest is what? I cannot finish. But, and so, I put some of my thoughts down, not necessarily a speech, but something like I have already acknowledged the vision of those who had the vision to put the process in motion, and those who participated. We did quite it was quite a challenge for some of us, but our vision was that we must build a better Uganda. We also I have acknowledged the active participation of the people of Uganda, who decided on how they wanted to live together and how they wanted to be governed through a popular social contract, which we consider to be sacred and binding. We pay tribute to also those who crafted the Constitution. They sought to build a better socio-economic order based on the values which I have already said: peace, unity, democracy, freedom, equality, social justice, and progress. We call upon Ugandans to embrace and promote these values as pillars of the social contract. Although achieved in implementing the Constitution during the 30 years, much remains to be done. We need to learn lessons and not repeat any mistakes made in upholding sanctity of the Constitution. A Constitution is not cast in stone, but it allows progress through well-considered amendments which demonstrate a consensus for governance of the future of the country. They must not be undertaken lightly. I know in the Constitution the number of grades of amendments through the referendum, through district councils, through majority or two-thirds. And when we started the constitutions, we found out there's no constitution that cannot be amended. But some argue that there's a constitution to be amended. We only argue that you must not destroy the basic character of the constitution. If it becomes too amorphous, if they cut off somebody's ear, you may leave. But if they cut off your head, it's a different story. So there are certain fundamental things in the constitution which I think should be preserved. We also say, by the way, I think you know that we are trying to write a constitution for East Africa. So I had a committee of constitution experts in East Africa. We say a constitution is necessary but not sufficient. It is not self-executing. It cannot implement itself. It is necessary but not sufficient. And it's not self-executing. So we need viable institutions which must be built, if they are built, strengthened, to breathe life in the Constitution, to make it a living document. Some of the institutions are here, apart from state organs. I think you have got state organs here. Human Rights Electoral Commission, civil society, the likes of Sarah here, the public, political parties. My friend Joseph is there. Yeah, you must strengthen these political institutions. Otherwise, the constitution will hang in the air. And nobody will blame me because I did my job. If you don't implement it. So we must strengthen these institutions to preserve and uphold the Constitution. And they must guard against the destruction of the Constitution. This tree planting ceremony is important to me. As I declare it, a session to plant the seeds of constitutionalism. Which is a culture essential for promoting and protecting the Constitution. I hope the tree will bear fruits of constitutionalism. And I hope I'll be here to see the fruits. I'm still around, but most of you, I'm sure you'll be able to see the fruits. When we were seeing the Constitution, when we were seeing independence, I think we're celebrating independence, and I was privileged to witness the independence, Declaration of Independence at Kororo. I don't know how many of you were alive in 1962. You were there? I was there. I was a student at King's College, Budo. From there, we came to watch in the evening, and then we came back again in the morning. Can you imagine? Yes, I can tell these young people. So when you see this man, he has been around for some time. He saw the flag being lowered. Don't worry about the rest. So, now, a political culture, of course, as you know, is grounded. You must have a constitution, and which you must respect and adhere to. Constitutionalism, I don't know, it's basically an American doctrine. The Constitution of America was made in 1787. 1787, it's one of the oldest. Although it has been amended about 19 times, and Indian Constitution has been amended about 100 times. So that's part of growth. The Constitution is supposed to limit government. Yes, the doctrine of limited government. That's what the Constitution is supposed to do, define and limit the powers of government. And require government to abide by the law. and prevent absolute power. You can also add a bit of it. The rule of law must prevail. I know the president will also enjoys the rule of law. The rule of law must prevail, so that the government and citizens are subject to the control of the law alike. These doctrines of separation of powers are important because once you have the organs of government, to ensure that they are not to become dictators of each other, you must have separation of powers so that each one is kept in its own mandate, and then checks and balances ensure that the friction is harmonious. There's friction, but we don't fight like that. I don't know, when I was in the Chief Justice here, I think you must have, you didn't know how we were fighting, because for me, I don't. Anyway, but there's always a war between the between the organs of government. But that's checks and balances. Protection of human rights is critical. Sometimes I don't tell things what happened. If you read that chapter on human rights, I spent time doctoring it, and it will be difficult for you to change it. Fundamental rights is the center of the Constitution. People give government power, but it must allow them to exercise their powers. Their rights and freedoms. They are very fundamental to governance. And that is a very important ingredient of constitutionalism. We need to practice democracy. Ruled by people, or as we say, the power belongs to the people. Yes. Sovereignty of the people is very important. Meaningful participation in politics or in government. Peaceful competition. Yes. We must cultivate values of tolerance. Yes. Compromise. We must accept majority rule and respect minority rights. They must have their say. The principle of civilian control of the military. And lastly, the principle of peaceful resolution of disputes. You don't have to fight in public. So, democracy reinforces constitutionalism. I don't think you can have constitution without democracy. Lastly, we must empower the people to be able to defend the Constitution and embrace constitutionalism and democratic values. The government and civil society bear major responsibility to educate the public about the Constitution and the participation in the governance of their country, so as to demand accountability from duty bearers. I have been impressed by the coverage in the media about the framing and content of the Constitution and the challenges that face its implementation. So I thank Sarah for this opportunity, which is supposed to promote this idea of ensuring that the people are aware of the Constitution and are encouraged to support it and observe it and hold leaders accountable. And I thank you very much. I know I haven't touched controversial issues, but I'm capable of touching them. Because when we were writing the Constitution, we did not avoid those. If you read my report, all the bad things which you are saying about anybody, we are saying. And in the summary in the Constitution, we have put a lot of things, which so that we never like certain things to happen. But I want to wish you well, and I want you, Sarah, for organizing this meeting, to come back to my old home. I spent most of my life here, actually, on this square. When you were young, you used to come here after hearing cases to have fresh air. When you were young state attorneys, yes. Because you couldn't afford meals, so you could come here and sit here from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. You go back and you hear the case. Another was Jubilee Park. It was tough time. Yeah, it was tough time. And we thank God that things have changed and that we have a good environment where we can discuss and agree to disagree. And that goes on. So thank you very much and may God bless you.
So we are planting at this height because of the adversities in the city, that many times when you plant trees that are young, they do have a lot of challenges. Like Fanda was saying, normally have people come in the space and break them. So when we plant like this, normally we realize survival. Yes, so this one is mainly a high timber value. It has good timber, and in some parts of Africa, people use it for treating cough. So for us here, we look at it as for timber.
Okay.
Yes, and we mainly want to plant indigenous trees because of biodiversity in the city and climate resilience.
Okay.
The indigenous species are known for that.
Okay.
So yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. So for this particular activity, from the constitutional point of view, the message for this particular tree is our embodiment of strength and dignity. That's the message. Yes. So.
Yeah. So after planting, we shall also cage it. Yes, to ensure that the protection is really there. Yeah, so that next time when justice passes by, he can see the tree. Yes, and appreciate.
Yes. So, okay, you can help him. So how do we? Okay.
Justice will use the country. When we shall get back, shall wait about trees.
Caveras should not remain. Our tree will not
Okay.
to bring biodegradable material.
So the stage there. Who is responsible for the company? Who is responsible?
For
Myself? City authority?
KCC and ourselves.
okay. So the next one is you guys, government actors. Okay, thank you. So the next tree is for government actors. Okay. Oh, let him water the plant, the tree. Okay. Aha, very good. Okay, that's enough. Thank you. Okay. So our next tree will be planted by government actors. We are going over there. You guys. So. So, yeah, but also this tree has a message.
This tree has a message.
It's also, yeah, so for our constitutional activity, the message is resilient democracy through active citizenry. No. This is, No, preserving constitutionalism by nurturing institutions. Yes, this is yours.
Thank you very much.
Yes. You're planting with the grass. Okay. The other side, yeah.
I don't have comments on the picture.
Yeah.
That as the water.
As you water, what do you want to tell us? And good, good. Okay, the women. The women. So the women. Yes, yes, sure, sure. Yeah.
No speeches for
No. Okay. So, yeah, but also this tree has a message.
This tree has a message.
It's also, yeah, so for our constitutional activity, the message is resilient democracy through active citizenry. No, no, no. This is, no, preserving constitutionalism by nurturing institutions. Yes, this is yours.
Thank you very much.
Yes. You're planting with the grass. Okay. The other Gen Zs are planting.
Any meaning?
Yeah.
Endangered species.
So the youth, a tree for freedom, a tree of freedom and liberty for posterity. That's your tree. Yeah.
They are bringing water. They are bringing water.
Oh, they're bringing
Aha. Another Gen Z. Drake. Aha. This is your moment to shine. Okay. So Drake, where next? Who?
Okay, young people,
Young people, come and support
Young
your papas and your
CJ
judges.
said political parties and democracy must be the anchor of constitution.
Yes.
Political parties are still essential.
Yes. Political parties as the anchors of
Political parties are the
constitutionalism.
anchor. My quarrel with the CJ, and of course I know him in another life,
Guys,
is that political parties were not officially allowed to participate in the CA. But that said, when they made the 1995 Constitution, again, Article 269, the young lawyers know, was absent, meaning political parties had been banned. But that we went ahead and forced that it would be amended. Since then, our struggle now is really maintaining constitutionalism as it is. But partly, and particularly for those of us who are founding political parties that are founded on the values of young people, our total commitment to about democracy, rule of law, and whatever it is, that it must be about building for the future. And building for the future, political parties and organizations must be anchored around young people. Fantastic, you guys are here.
And that in the same vein, we subscribe to Center
yes,
for Constitutional
yes.
Governance. It's a great honor and pleasure that we participate in the commemoration of the 1995 Constitution, and at the same time, we have killed two birds at the same time. We are protecting the environment. As students under the HOPE initiative, under the umbrella of Center for Constitutional Governance, it's our pleasure that we are trying to subscribe to the environment change and trying to protect the environment. Thank you so
what
much.
has happened? How did the students end up there? Okay. So we are planting CSOs, the other one, at the other corner.
Down,
Eh. Okay, well done. Enough? Not too much. Okay. Aha. Okay. The others will finish. So now CSO actors, we are going down, eh? So we have Uganda Law Society. Who else? Henry is there. So, civil society. This is our tree. CCG and Radical New Bar, your tree is waiting. Your radical tree is waiting.
Who's representing?
It's a radical one. So this is the CSO tree. Unfortunately, others have gone. I don't see Henry and I don't see Timothy. I think they've rushed out already. But nonetheless, we move. So CSO, your tree says resilient democracy through active citizenry. Okay. May you now do the honors. Okay. All right.
Now that looks radical.
They are planting with too much swag.
Very good, very good.
Good job, thank you. Okay, so. Has this Lordship gone back?
Good.
Chief guest? I think it's going. Yeah, but I was worried. 10:50. We've just. Great, beautiful. So thank you very much. We're done. You missed. You're still being radicalized.
No, I wanted to see, but let's do the interviews now.
Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for being here.